Ladies and gentlemen, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Unfortunately, today we got a new update on Xdefiant. Obviously, we've been covering this a lot over the past couple of months because it's really gained a lot of popularity as we've seen various different playtests and betas for it. But, you know, I say we've got news for Xdefiant, you'd think, okay, cool, what are we gonna learn? But I preface it with unfortunately, and you might know where we're headed. We got a couple of announcements from the official Xdefiant account and then also lead developer Mark Rubin in regards to the status of the game and its future. And I mean, it could be better news, I'm not gonna lie. As we get into the details, however, if you do enjoy the video for what it is, do me a favor, drop a like on it, it would be really appreciated. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're always up to date with every new video I post, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. But if we head on over to Twitter, or X, we've got the Xdefiant account and they've posted this, an update on Xdefiant. And we've got a fancy little graphic to go ahead and read. And they say, thank you to everyone who participated in our recent public test session and continues to stand alongside us as we build Xdefiant. You may recall that a couple of days back, they did have like a 6-hour-long beta, if you will, a public test session where PC players only could jump on and play some of the content and some of the changes that they've made since the last open beta. The public test session once again showed us our appreciation for our fast-paced gunplay, uniquely crafted maps, objective-driven modes, and iconic faction roster. But it also surfaced some inconsistencies in the game experience that we need to address prior to launching our pre-season. So we've made the hard decision to delay the pre-season of Xdefiant. And if I hide the face cam, you can see those unfortunate words as well. Delay the pre-season or the launch of Xdefiant. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to turn the face cam off. Launch of Xdefiant. The team will continue working to address these issues and testing them to make sure we deliver on our goal of being the best-in-class arcade shooter. We will share more information about preseason and testing as it comes. Thanks again for your support. We're working hard to make something really special and we couldn't do it without you. Xdefiant development team. So, yet again, after a lot of waiting, a lot of tests, a lot of hype, Xdefiant has been delayed once more indefinitely. Now they're just talking about the preseason and the initial launch of the game here with some of the standard stuff before they get into, you know, season 1 and all the main content year for it. But they don't give us a set date. It's already sort of been up in arms. There's been some leaks recently. One was initially saying, you know, maybe the 17th, but then that was said, no, not going to happen. Some people have been saying the 28th, some other insiders in the industry, but obviously Xdefiant themselves did not confirm anything here. And I feel like if the game was going to be launching in, you know, 18 days, for instance, on the 28th, we probably wouldn't be seeing a post saying, hey, the game's delayed. Instead it'd be, hey, the game's going to be launching in a couple of weeks. Preloads will go live next week or something like that, right? So this to me means more than likely it could be delayed for a longer period of time, maybe late 2023, potentially like early 2024 even. Obviously, we're going to have to wait on a precise update from Ubisoft and from the Xdefiant team, but this is definitely unfortunate news. Before I break down more of the details with this, as I mentioned, Mark Rubin did also post his own little message here as well regarding the gameplay status. So Mark Rubin's account here, obviously the executive producer working on Xdefiant here, this is what he posted, a lengthy little note here saying, hello all, we just had a quick test of our public test session server infrastructure, and I want to thank everyone who took part in the test. These servers will be used when we are live to test and get feedback of new content in the game. So you may see new weapons, factions, modes, etc. We will adapt as needed to make sure the game is aligned with player expectations. And thank you everyone who filled out the survey and provided feedback on various platforms. From this feedback, we saw that the majority of people had a great time and saw improvement over previous tests, but that wasn't the case for everyone, and that's those inconsistencies that were referenced there. And so we spent the last week digging through the data that we collected and identified some things that brought us to the decision to take extra time to fix or improve the experience for everyone. I want to point out that all feedback is not extremely welcome, but crucial to our goal of making a great game. We really do listen to everyone's feedback no matter who you are, and I hope that comes across even if the team and I can't respond to everyone. A great example of feedback from the public test session was around the movement feeling off. In particular, the slide felt nerfed or clunkier. In my own experience playing it, I definitely noticed I wasn't able to slide like super aggressive like I was in previous iterations of the game. Nothing had changed in that part of the game, but because people brought it up, we were digging deeper and found that sliding was being interrupted by frame spikes. So again, this might not have been something we'd ever seen through normal testing, so that feedback helped. I know it's a bummer that we are moving the date, especially since we seem so close, and that for many, the game is great and they can't wait to play it, but I'd rather ship a game that is better for everyone. Our intent for this game is to be something that players can return to for many years, and to do that, we have to build this game with the community, so keep an eye out for future updates and info on the game and its launch. Thank you again. So, obviously, not the best news stemming from Xdefiant and Mark Rubin. We thought we were getting really close to seeing the launch of this, maybe around the MW3 beta ending, so that didn't have to directly compete with that, but ultimately what this does is create an even bigger hole for Xdefiant to now climb out of, and in my opinion, unfortunately, the game might have just sealed its fate. Obviously, if you are a Call of Duty player, and I would assume if you're on my channel, most of you probably are, the MW3 beta is going on right now this past weekend with the PlayStation exclusive, next weekend with PC and Xbox, and for the most part, the game is really righting the wrongs of MW2. It's not perfect, but it's changing a lot of things that we did not enjoy about Modern Warfare 2, and that's something that Xdefiant really capitalized on with its initial hype. Hey, if you're looking for a classic arcade shooter, slower TTK, good movement, easy weapons, you know, stuff like that, this is our game. And everyone is like on board, okay, this is going to be a huge competition to Call of Duty. Until Call of Duty's next game is also very similar to what Xdefiant has, but it's actually Call of Duty. So now, unlike Xdefiant basically turning around and saying, hey, this is what MW2 isn't, it's, hey, this is very similar to MW3 with some different changes here and there. Less skill-based matchmaking, free to play, and that'll certainly bring a draw in and of itself. But it's quite possible that this game now has a much shorter lifespan because we've seen MW3, and just going off the beta alone, it's going to continue to improve and have feedback and changes, and things will be adjusted based on that stuff from the beta. And full launch here right around the corner now, just, you know, a month out, that stems bad news for Xdefiant having to fully compete with that. And it's really not their fault, which is the unfortunate part. Xdefiant obviously had to sit here and wait for approvals from third-party publishers, Microsoft and Sony, and if they didn't have to do that, they could have launched during the super low point of MW2 when everyone was like super hyped for the Xdefiant beta and everything. It's the COD killer, you know, it was very hyped up. That was the peak point of it, though, it seems like, and interest has already sort of started to dwindle, saying that MW3 is a lot more of a player's game, if that makes any sense. So definitely some very unfortunate news here for sure. If we get any official news on an actual launch date or anything like that, that's a bit more positive. Of course, I'll do my best to keep you guys informed either on this channel or my second channel. But that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you enjoyed the video, despite the bad news, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're always up to date, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Peace out.